Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Wannabe Entrepreneur podcast, the podcast about what's really like to bootstrap a company. My name is Tiago. What did you think of last week's episode, my conversation with Tony Dean? I always like speaking with him. I always learn a lot. And as you know, I've been trying to understand what it's like to be running an indie company, and it's something that we don't have a lot of information about. The information we have is always around VC-backed companies, these big unicorn companies, your Facebooks, your Teslas. But I've been discovering that the indie way, our indie lifestyle, is a bit different. We put freedom and our happiness on top of money, which I really like, to be honest. And more we are realizing that it's important that we, the founders, set our own terms and our own deadlines. Recently, João and I had a very interesting conversation. So as you know, we have been conducting these interviews with business partners. If you don't know, now you know. The idea of the business partner, and that I'm sure that I already shared here, is to basically get a special affiliate. So instead of giving only 25%, we give 40% of our sales. Actually, we pay more to our business partners than the money we actually get. And by doing that, we hope, our idea was to basically create a sales team that would be selling Pod Squeeze for us. So far, I have to say, it hasn't been working great. We onboarded 2 business partners, but they made, I think, 0 sales. So I've been kind of already thinking on giving up on this idea because we tried it, didn't work. And to be honest, João, my co-founder, he was always very skeptic about it. And he said, I don't think it will work, but we always have to try. And I had a lot of faith in this idea. So we tried it. And I was about to give up, but recently we got contacted by someone from France, someone with a lot of experience in the podcasting world, and we had a very nice conversation. He seemed to be very enthusiastic, and there was only one issue, one little red flag that got Jean and myself a little bit worried, which was, it seemed that he completely controlled the conversation. And you can see it in 2 ways. One way is, okay, this person is really passionate and is going to make a lot of sales for us. And on the other hand, you can also think that this person is going to give us a lot of work and setting deadlines, because in the end, he was already telling us a lot of things that we should do. You should set this up, and you should send me this email. And I know, Joe and I, when we finished this conversation, we just had a chat together, and we were thinking, something doesn't add up. Something is not working great here. And I think it was the fact that suddenly we lost control of our own company, and suddenly our lifestyle was being threatened. And I don't know. It's funny because the more I am into learning about entrepreneurship, and that's, by the way, why I have this podcast and why it's called Wannabe Entrepreneur, right? It's because I want to learn how to become the best entrepreneur. And I have my own way of being, and I have my own personality. I avoid conflicts most of the times. And as I'm starting here, and since the beginning of my indie journey, I realized that I need to be even a little bit more competitive. I see myself not only in the entrepreneurship, but really, I don't know, playing games, whatever. I see my competitiveness side kind of bubbling up. And I love competition. I have to be honest. I love doing sports that promote competition, healthy competition, obviously. For instance, I don't like running. I don't like going to the gym because I don't have this competitiveness side of it. Otherwise, I love doing sports, playing soccer and I don't know, sailing when it was like races and even Muay Thai and everything. All of this, there's a component of competition, and I love that. But I see myself now more competitive and trying to somehow be more assertive. And as I gain more success with Pod Squeeze and with my project, I feel more confident to somehow be more assertive. And the same with João. We had a very interesting conversation about that, and maybe one day we'll do it also here in the pod. But yeah, he's also telling me that he feels more confident in himself, and he also, for the first time, is having a really nice, healthy lifestyle because he's able to tune down his work, and now he basically works whenever he pleases. So when we kind of lost control of that conversation, that's what I felt. I felt that maybe I should be more assertive. I should have regained that, and I should be setting on our own terms instead of the other way around. And this person is a bit older, and I don't know. He kind of got. We lost a little bit track on that, and yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Send me a message at WBTiago on Twitter. Do you think that a good businessman needs to be assertive and needs to have this personality and not be afraid to have conflicts, or the other way around? Actually, recently there was another situation in my personal life that made me think about this, which was, so my partner and I, we are renting a flat here in Lisbon, and as you know, if you are around at least Europe, the housing, like renting a house, is extremely expensive nowadays. It's really expensive. Like buying a house in general, like the whole market is really, really expensive. And here in Portugal, we were renting a house for I think 2 years now, yeah, and we're paying around 900 bucks, which is still good. And especially when we first rented 2 years ago, 900 was a good amount. Obviously, it was not super cheap, but it was nice. But now, when we try to find a flat in the same area, if you want to rent it again, there's nothing short than 1,500, which is crazy. It's growing a lot. So yeah, we were kind of reassured because we knew that we had this house or this flat rather, and we knew as well that our contract was about to end now in the end of in this year, but we thought that it would just be renewed. Our landlord didn't say anything, so just to make sure, we sent a message to our landlord and say, "Hey, our contract is going to be renewed, right?" And she said no. She didn't warn us. She said like, "No, you need to get out." And then we just ran to our laptops to kind of read or reread the contract, and there was a little clause saying, "Yeah, non-renewable," which is crazy. It seems such a new move, but when I look at it, when we looked at it for the first time, we didn't even consider it because we thought, okay, it just says this, but normally everyone renews it, and we thought that the law was protecting us. Apparently, it's not. We consulted a lawyer for the first time. I've never done this before. Consulted a lawyer, and then they told us, "Yeah, no, sorry, you need to leave. There's nothing you can do because it says non-renewable." So yeah, this also kind of confirmed two things that I had in my mind. First of all, never do business with people that you don't fully trust. And from the beginning, we didn't fully trust this landlord. She's very cold and inflexible. It was really hard. Every time, like when we had problems here, she would never try to fix it. She was like, "Yeah, you fix it yourself." But we were so excited about this flat because of the price and the location, everything. We liked it that we kind of ignored that. So that's the first lesson I have, and I think I'll just take it wherever I go when I'm doing business, which is never do business with people. Wow, with a person that you do not trust, even if it seems like a great deal. I guess there's little nuances here. If it's a one-time business, let's say you buy one thing once and you just make sure everything is fine. But if it's like a long-term business, like a flat where you depend on this person, don't do it. And if you're going to do it, please consult a lawyer. I think from now on, that's also my lesson. I always had this idea that like having a lawyer looking, it would be super expensive. I mean, yeah, we did pay 80 bucks to have the lawyer to read our contract, but I think it's worth it. Just pay $80, send the contract their way, and they will immediately explain to you and show you the red flags and everything. So yeah, I also thought that, and going back a little bit to our conversation with this business partner, yeah, we didn't know. I don't know if I can trust this person, right? So immediately that makes me think, okay, red flag there. And then we're wondering, shall we go for it? Because you might be losing a great opportunity just because you don't trust it. But again, it's the same as the flat. We might have lost a great opportunity, and it was great 2 years of our lives, even though the landlord was not the most amicable person. But at the same time, yeah, now we are in this weird situation where we have to leave, and we need to find another flat and everything. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking about, and thinking on how our personality should be as business people. At the same time, I've been in this kind of hybrid mode with some holidays and working, and I think every year I tell you this, which is I don't like this, because I always try, okay, I'll go for holidays and still work, but I end up not doing any. I think this time I was able to relax much more because I'm making money, so that makes things much easier. I was able to like disconnect more, but I've been also thinking about the community a lot, and what should I do about it. I really don't know. I love the community still. I think it's a place where people go when they are feeling alone. If you are an indie maker, that's the main thing, and there's been always this kind of battle of what is the purpose of the community. A lot of people go to this community because they want to take value, so they want to learn about a specific skill like marketing or building a product, and others go there because they just want to hang out and meet other indie makers. And now that I'm saying this out loud, I know that the best users of our community are the ones that go there to make friends, are the ones that go there when they are feeling lonely, and they don't want necessarily to go there and just collect information from people and collect knowledge from people. No, they just want to hang out. So I think that should be, I guess, what my focus, what I should focus on, which is, this is the place to make friends. And if you want a place where you want to learn about marketing or coding or whatever, maybe just find another community, or find a course or something. It doesn't, of course, that you learn a lot. I learn a lot from the folks in the community, but it shouldn't be its main priority. And with that said, I've been thinking as well on if I should change our business model. So far we are doing this kind of SaaS, or not SaaS, sorry, this is a subscription. So you pay every month. And I also start thinking, I don't know, like, it's weird because these people, a lot of them kind of became my friends. I like them, and it's weird to like be asking them for money for 2 years already, right? So they pay $10 every month for 2 years, and that's already like $200. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, they also take some value out of this, of course, but it feels weird, So that's why I've been thinking, okay, what I should do is, instead of asking for money every month, I should ask for one-time payment. And a lot of communities do this, by the way. Peter Level's Nomad List community does this. You just pay once. You go there, you pay like $200 or $100, and you get access for life. And I don't know, does it make sense? Does it not? My idea would be, okay, we do this. All the people that already have been paying for more than 2 years, now they have it for free. They don't need to pay anymore. And of course, that this will cut my MRR. All right, so maybe business-wise doesn't make a lot of sense, but at the same time, I'd feel more confident about it, and yeah. Another thing is that I'm afraid that they might lose interest on the community because they're not paying monthly. I asked this around. I asked this in the community. They said no. That they said they would still go and use it. So yeah, something to think about. I've been also converting my guides. I created a guide a long time ago, a Notion kind of form that people could, it's a step-by-step guide to help people bootstrap their projects. And now we are converting it into an ebook. so like a PDF that is easier to read. And I don't know, I'm still like forming my ideas, but first I was trying to think, okay, maybe I can make this collection of, like a bunch of ebooks and stuff like that, and gather all this information plus the access of the community, and sell it as a bundle, and people will just pay it once and get access and everything. So maybe this could be a good idea. Maybe this could be how I would take the community. Yeah, I've also thought that maybe I could just get the money and share the money with the members, or the more active members, or create like a fund for indie hackers, that I would just get this money and every month give it to an indie hacker or something like this. This could be interesting as well. I don't know, a lot of ideas that I have. If you have any suggestions, let me know. You can also join the community, by the way. You can join it for free. And if you want to interact with others and send messages, then you pay $10 per month at the moment. I don't know if I'll change this. But you will be also supporting this podcast, because that would be the idea. The community was a way. It initially started from this podcast. But yeah, that's basically it. I don't have much more to say. Next week, I will have another interview with the founder of Ghostly. And it's a very interesting one. I think it was a really interesting conversation in the same genre as the one with Tony Dean, trying to understand how people that are making tons of money with their indie projects kind of run their companies. So that will be it. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to the Wannabe Entrepreneur podcast, and make sure as well to share it with all of your friends, and tag it on Twitter. My Twitter is WBTiago. I reached 3,000 followers on Twitter this week, which is great. So yeah, make sure to go there and say hi. And yeah, that's it. This was another Wannabe Entrepreneur. See you next time.